Hello everybody and welcome to Formula Fun Sim Racing. We are live for round 5 here at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. It's once again Zenzoku on pole. The man has won 4 races in a row and we are about to go for the 5th one to see whether they can keep their winning streak on or is it going to be a new driver in. It's myself, Zabi, and let's get started. Just before we get started, let's have a look at the championship after 4 rounds of the season. It is Zenzoku still leading up ahead and strong ahead of everyone. 102 points to their name. Then comes FlyScott in second place with 69 points. Then it's AI with 44. And then it's a very close fight between Scrubbins and Fitty. Both the drivers having secured 2 podiums this season so far. Remember Scrubbins having good qualifying pace and 2 poles at the start of the season as well. But just the races where they have not been the best so far in terms of their championship as it looks. They got 2 podiums in the first 2 races, but then fall back. We'll see. They had a very bad start incident in Bahrain as well. They've got a redemption time now. We'll see whether they can do it, or we will have to see. Because both the drivers, Scrubbins and Fitty, only have 2 points difference, and those 2 points are Scrubbins' fastest laps that they have taken so far in this season. Then it's High B with 28 points. They had a very good previous race as well. And then Spliff, who had the best race of the season, of course, in round 4, scoring their first points of the season after finishing P4 in that race. We're about to get started, and now let's begin for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And we are about to get started with 4, 5 lights out, and we are about to go racing. The lights were held for a little bit long. Meanwhile, Zenzoku still on pole, gets a good start. Then Scrubbin in P2 with FlyScott in P3 as they're all heading into turn 1. FlyScott's already side by side, and then Scrubbins incident. They're going into turn 1 again. There's a start problem there. They're going side by side and just locked up.
Why do I always do that?
Falling back once more, and he's into P10 already. Spliff is missing out on this race, but and look at that Fitty. Fitty had a very rapid start, it looked like, but they've got a drive-through penalty, and that was the reason that we saw them having a very good start, moving up the order very quickly.
Well, that sucks. Might as well just quit now. Go to bed.
And started before the lights went out, just missing up on that clutch. And side by side now, IB's going to go with the AI. Can they take it there? No, they cannot. They're almost going to be sticking side by side, but they'll have to back out in some point. After a crazy start there a little bit, Scrubbins just having a little bit moment, probably going in turn 1, just locked up after they were side by side with FlyScott for a moment. FlyScott meanwhile is in P2 still, and High B at the back having incident and possible fight with the AI as well. Currently in P4 is High B. They might have a chance of a podium if Scrubbins and Fitty are going to be staying outside for the top 5 for a while. But how long is that going to be there though? Because considering High B's already in P4, but he's fighting the AI cars ahead, but no, cars behind are fighting him as it looks like. The cars and as they're going to try and go side by side maybe for a little bit, could have thought for that, but no, they can't go around the outside into the final corner as we make it to the end of this lap. It's now going to be a chance for High B to whether make a move into turn 1 or stay behind the AI. Are they going to be making that move? No, they will not be, and possibly chance waiting for an opportunity as they know this podium chance is well and a very good one, because everybody pretty much has been on the podium apart from Spliff and High B this season. And look at that, Scrubbins meanwhile at the back has been gaining positions after falling back into P10. They have overtook the AIs and have been doing a decent job coming back only on lap 2. Meanwhile, we could see at the back they are making position and progress, so they could be on the way to get back to that top 3. Meanwhile, round the outside, High B's going to come it to there, and they're going to get that position this time around, which they couldn't on lap 1, and that's going to be P3 as High B now runs inside the podium positions for this race here at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Meanwhile, Scrubbins is right behind as well. They're about to make the move, and they have made the move into P4, and now they're still side by side at the back meanwhile, Scrubbins and AI, but the fight is still on. The championship, of course, that against Fitty, it's very important for Scrubbins as well. They're only ahead of by 2 points, So they need these extra points. They need to be challenging Fly Scott by the amount of performance they had at the start of the season with poles as well. Around the outside, they're going to send it around the outside against IP, and already Scrubbins is back into the top 3 of this race after getting a not a so good start, going into turn 1, spun out, and then a recovery would be so good that they're back into P3. A very good recovery then by Scrubbins so far after a not so good start. They are about to recover and back into P3. We'll see if they are able to catch up to those top 2 drivers, as the gap as it stands is over 8 seconds in fact, which is about 7.7 seconds now. It's going to vary from time to time, but we'll see how good is Scrubbins able to do, and the recovery that would be super amazing. Meanwhile at the back, Footy has been back in P10. Fly Scott currently in P2, still almost staying there all season. They have been after interesting fights with Scrubbins. So, I mean, it's nice whether Scrubbins could catch up back to Fly Scott, but we'll see what they can, because Zen is in their own league. I mean, as the season has started, they've taken 4 wins in a row, possibly going for the 5th one, but we'll see. Of course, it'll be all amazing to have battles and really a battle for the win, but their dominance have been quite clear of the rest of the pack. There have been some moments, there have been some fights between Scrubbins and between Fly Scott as well, but just not strong enough to take that victory. But you never know, though. Anything could happen, as the gap now currently is 2.8 seconds, and the gap at the back, look at that, 6.5 seconds, and that means that Fly Scott is losing out time, but then Scrubbins is gaining. Fly Scott then has started on the medium tire this time around as well. We saw Zen almost starting, Zenzoku starting on that medium compound tire the whole, almost every race so far, but now we are seeing Fly Scott do that as well, and pretty much in a 13 to 15 lap race overall. You start on the medium, go quite a longer time on that, and then go on to end the race on that soft compound tire. High B on those medium tires as well, currently running in P4, which could well be a very good result for High B as well. The green smiley livery. Currently already 4 laps have passed. No battle out on track as it stands so far. Everybody's in their own battle. I mean, it's more like lap 4 already, so possibly they'd go if they're on soft. Oh, this time around it's different. As we're about to say, that Zen has started on the medium tire almost every race, but this time around they've done the opposite. They've started on the soft. That is interesting now, once again. I mean, earlier we saw Zen's driving and tire management in Bahrain after doing almost same laps as Zen on the soft, Zen on the mediums with Fly Scott on the soft at that start, keeping these medium tires in good shape, but then finishing the race on the soft. But this time around, they have decided to start on the soft compound tire, so it's going to be interesting whether the soft at the end will be quicker or the medium at the end will be quicker. As it stands, the gap is at 2.9 seconds, so for now, for probably another 1 to 2 laps, these soft tires are going to be alive. They are going to help Zen keep ahead of Fly Scott, but is it going to be enough? Because as soon as these tires wear out, it's going to be a chance for Fly Scott at the back on the medium tires to catch back. But the problem is that these are not long races. You know, sure, 13 laps are decent for a good action pack and a one-stop strategy, but if it was a longer race, maybe these strategies would be more meaningful. But still, I mean, in a short span of time, with not a lot to create. Remember, don't get me wrong, you know, these races are harder in a way that you don't get a lot of decision making, you don't get a lot of time, because it's on that one lap, it's on that one spot. If you do it a lap less, it could well be not so good for you. Do one lap more than you need to do, it could well be going the other way as well. But as it stands, the gap 4.1 second between Fly Scott and Zenzoku, and 2.6 seconds now remain between Fly Scott and Scrubbins. Scrubbins has been pushing like crazy, but as it looks like, Fly Scott has been losing time on those mediums, considering with not only him, Scrubbins gaining time, but then FlyScott is losing time to Zen as well. Remember, FlyScott is your last year Saudi Arabian Grand Prix winner. Are we going to see them into the pits this time around? No, at all, not at all. As they're going to continue on, of course, on these medium tires. Into lap 6 we go. Zen still maintains their lead by over 4 seconds, with the gap Scrubbins 2.4 seconds behind, with High B over 5 seconds behind Scrubbins. Then it's Footy, our last driver. Spliff, of course, missing the race once again, but it is Footy in P10 over 44 seconds behind a car ahead of them. But look at that, the gap now between Scrubbins and FlyScott is less than 2 seconds. It's just 1.6 seconds. It's only a few laps time when FlyScott is going to be caught up by Scrubbins, and we are definitely ready for that, as the gap is about to go less than 1 second. It's tumbling down 1.2 seconds as it stands, lap 6 out of 13. But we're going to see whether is that going to be the case. Is the DRS going to help Scrubbins to get ahead of FlyScott? The gap is now in fact less than a second, and we are about to witness FlyScott struggling on those medium tires so far, has fallen back against Zen as well. This is now going to be a time, and they're going to go a little bit to divide there with that little bit of an oversteer moment for FlyScott, and this time around it's going to be even DRS enabled for and that's going to be a pit stop for Zen, but it's going to be a move coming up for Scrubbins, and they're going to move to the inside line, and a position taken as Scrubbins has done the recovery, and they went P10 to P1.
Just let you go.
Almost spun out like crazy.
I know, I saw you wiggling. I didn't want to be a part of that.
It is Scrubbins, your new race leader so far. But of course, as soon as they pit, Zen is going to get their position back. They'll be on the medium tire for the second stint. But we'll see whether it's going to be FlyScott or it's going to be Scrubbins to challenge Zen. Or is it going to be Zen's own performance once more to give him the victory and take it as smoothly as he has taken the first 4 ones. But we'll see. I mean, I don't think that it won't be super hard, but it won't be super easy as well for Zen as it stands. It currently is for P4 for them. P3 High B. I mean, High B is currently ahead of Zen, so maybe High B could try and back off Zen a little bit to help the leaders, but I don't think he can actually. He would probably be thinking about that. He'd rather be worrying about his own race and trying to finish P4. But for as long as High B delays Zen, because this is not under blue flags, this is racing for position, and it's going to be through, then a move's coming up, and a move done already before High B could think about anything of defending against High B, against Zen. Zen's going to be through into P3, and now the gap is 11 seconds to the Scrubbins, and then 1.5 seconds, so that's about 12.5 seconds gap to the leader. But are they going to head into the pits? I do not see Scrubbins, and then it's going to be FlyScott. Both of them are heading inside the pit lane. It will be High B as well into the pits, and it's going to be Zen then taking that race lead. Mediums off and softs on for FlyScott. They're going to be getting those on now. It's going to be interesting because Scrubbins, I don't know if Scrubbins pitted or not. Well, they definitely must have, as they've lost out the position to FlyScott at this point. So we'll see what exactly happened. Definitely, I'm thinking that they must have pitted. And remember, FlyScott has went on the soft compound tire, so they're going to try and catch back, but I don't think there will be enough laps for them to gain time, because that's the problem. As I said, in short races, you could probably have that second stint, but then you won't have enough laps to probably catch back. As it stands, 6.9 seconds, but then obviously he won't be, even if he's gaining a second a lap at this point, it still won't be enough in terms of, even if he is within 1 second of Zen, he won't be able to overtake. So it's interesting to see what's going to be happening to the end. Meanwhile, High B now find themselves behind a AI driver. They're going to go around the outside, made one overtake around there. They're going to go for a second one and make it happen. P4 for High B, and looks to be in that possible position to overtake and to go into P4 and make that more points for their championship. They're only ahead of Spliff in this point, who have scored points in one race and managed to score P4, so that was good points for them, 12 points. Of course, they're still would be behind High B for this time, but High B then trying to get as many points as they can as well. The only two drivers that haven't been to the podium this season, it's High B and Spliff, to yet score a top 3 finish. Lap 8 out of 13 still goes on. High B now 7.1 seconds behind Scrubbins. Scrubbins also 7.4 seconds behind FlyScott. Not quite sure what exactly happened because Scrubbins had overtaken FlyScott, so maybe another mistake, another little problem for Scrubbins caused them back, because definitely Scrubbins was looking to be challenging FlyScott there. You know, FlyScott seemed to be losing time, but now on that soft compound tire, they're only going to gain, as the gap already between the top two, which was over 6.9 seconds when FlyScott came out, is now 5.9 seconds between these two, and we'll see whether actually FlyScott might just be able to recover and do a very good job, good enough to get to the top two, to get to the lead. They're still in the top, already in the top two, but get to the leader, get closer to the leader, because that's going to be very important. Remember, they have pretty much finished on the podium all season long, all 4 races. They have been on that podium, you know, P1, P2, P3, but that's top step. That has only been to one man, and that is Zen Zoku so far this season. They lead the championship, and Scrubbins got a penalty. Scrubbins then has got a penalty now. Even if they were to make these 6 seconds and catch up to FlyScott once again, it would have been a struggle for them to even get that second place. So now, that chance and that possibility of a second place might just be over. They not only need to recover those seconds, catch up, overtake, but also then get the gap to over 3 seconds, which I don't think would be a possibility in the remaining laps in terms of doing that. So as it stands, we'll see what's going to be happening though. But, oh, there is the DNF. That's interesting. A AI car and a driver has had DNF. Not quite sure whether they crashed or that's because of a mechanical failure. It's green flags again. We're racing, and lap 10 out of 13, and we finally have a look at our race leader, the man who we haven't actually had a look at almost all race long, but Zen Zoku, your championship leader, your driver has won 4 in a row, almost on the way to win 5 in a row of the season. He won in Australia, 1 in China, 1 in Japan, 1 in Bahrain, and now on the way to win in Saudi. They've got time, they've got laps to get through, because it's not going to be easy. I mean, they've done it four times before. I'm sure they know how to do it in 4 times in a row, but they've still got to maintain, they've still got to complete these remaining laps after 3 after this one. I mean, sure, you could say their dominance is unmatchable this season so far, but we'll see whether these drivers following throughout the season, I'm sure they can't win all the races. Nobody can win all the races. I mean, Verstappen couldn't win more than 10 twice. Or Sebastian Vettel could win more than 9 races twice. So, of course, it's going to be a streak. It's going to be going on for a while, I'm sure. 5 races, 6 races, possibly. I mean, of course, we never know, though. I mean, sure, we are saying that they've got a 7-second gap almost, and they're on the way to win 5, but we don't even know, because one mistake could be a race-ending one for them. Because one little mistake could well be a chance for FlyScott to take over, FlyScott to take that victory that they have been looking after. Remember, our defending champion FlyScott, who hasn't been able to win, who won in Saudi last year, but a challenge of Zen has been very strong for them this year to even catch up to the pack for them to really get it on. But we'll see as we're on lap 11 out of 13 so far, now almost coming to the end of this race with High B in P4, Footy at the back in P9 after a driver having retired, but he's over 41 seconds behind a car. And as it stands, look at that, it's Zen now about to lap a car and move forward with blue flags now on for them to navigate through them to get. The car is ghosted, so I wonder if that Footy's car or Scrubbins' car. Both of them have a very similar car, but it is ghosted, and blue flags are on. Oh, they're going to hit the wall. They're going to hit the wall. That is interesting, and definitely now only 2.2 seconds between FlyScott and Scrubbins there, so I'm definitely, that must not have been FlyScott. That might have been Footy. And look at that now, the gap between Scrubbins and FlySquad is coming down once more, once again. The time that Scrubbins lost is coming back. They're gaining it back once more. It's only 1.5 seconds now, definitely. Even Scrubbins, I mean, all throughout the race, even if they had a little bit of slightest of mistakes all around the race, they've managed to recover. And,
Dang it, you're fast.
I don't know why, but I'm predicting that Scrubbin might be the one who wins a race that Zen doesn't win, in my opinion. Let's see.
And he spins out and he catches up with me twice. Well, I'm going to have to let him by here too. I'm defenceless. No battery.
But oh, look at this. This could be a move coming up for Scrubbins there for P2. Of course, they have a penalty. Remember that. So maybe FlySquad doesn't fight it that much and knows that they're going to be taking that position. But now side by side, both of them, it's going to be Scrubbins or FlySquad going into the final corner now. Who's going to be late to the brakes? And before they could even get to the corner, it was going to be Scrubbins. There's going to be a slide. It's going to be a slide, almost hitting the wall there. Did FlySquad almost ended up hitting the wall? That little problem. The rears not staying together at all for FlySquad, losing out time and now lost out P2. But we'll see whether they're able to stay within 3 seconds of Scrubbins or not, because definitely it's going to be a time and it's going to be a thing of FlySquad and Scrubbins to the end. Of course, Scrubbins has got a 3-second time penalty, remember, for track limits.
I'm gonna have to do some fucking sketch shit, and I keep hitting the walls.
Now the gap over 2 seconds. Oh, that's going to come down for a little bit. Whether for a moment we thought maybe does an extraordinary job, does Scrubbins, to pull off those 3 seconds. I mean, maybe they could have ended up pulling off those 3 seconds, but there's not any laps remaining as we are on the final lap now, and we should be seeing our race leader to come to the line anywhere, anytime soon now. Meanwhile, we are looking at High B then. Lapping a driver as well. A minute down is Fitty at the back in P9 so far, as High B now makes their way. I'm not quite sure whether the race has ended or not, because all the time on that final lap we end up seeing a High B towards the end of this race. But we are waiting now for our race leader to move on, whether they might just have taken the checkered flag, and they are going to take the checkered flag. It's going to be Zenzoku who wins.
Make a job.
And take their 5th victory in a row.
Come on.
It's going to be Scrubbins who's going to come home to finish P2. But then the penalty to Scrubbins is going to promote FlySquad into P2.
Yes! Yes! Damn it!
And back to the podium is Scrubbins after a few races not on the
I
podium.
just got enough battery power to get recharged around that corner to give me enough of a boost.
And then it's going to be High B coming up into P4. One of the very best results of this season for them as well. And that's then the end of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Then taking a victory once more. It's FlySquad in P2. Then comes Scrubbins in P3. Another fastest lap point for them. That is very nice. With High B in P4 and then Footy in P9 at the very bottom of this race. That's then it from myself and from everyone here at Formula Fun, and we are out for after round 5 at Saudi. See you next time in Miami.